let's go ahead and get this session started. So please join me in welcoming Shelby Paradowski. So Shelby is a graduate from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and during her time, she double majored in marketing and supply chain and operations. So marketing, supply chain, and operations, right?
Yep.
So wonderful work. And she's also a two-time Business World alumna, I guess, and recently joined the Wisconsin Business World team in September. You'll have to tell us about that. And so anyway, the floor is yours, Shelby.
Oh, great.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Today I will be presenting to you how to succeed in life without even trying. First, we're going to start with a mind bender. So, if you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't got me. What am I? Any guesses? No one? A secret. Awesome. Beautiful. So on today's agenda, we're going to discuss how to succeed in life without trying, and then we're going to get into a fun little activity where you're going to group up with your rows. So after I introduce myself and describe how to succeed in life without trying, we're going to do that. All right. So who am I? For my job, I am a coordinator. So I coordinate Wisconsin Business World programs. Basically for my job, I get to speak to people like you, I get to travel a bunch, and I send a bunch of emails, and I'm constantly talking to people. Outside of work, I am a powerlifter. I am a competitive powerlifter, so I compete nationwide. If anyone knows what a powerlifter is or what we do, it's a weight class sport. Yes. I can deadlift 370, I can bench 165, and I squat 280.
Nice.
So I will be competing at nationals again in Reno, Nevada this upcoming March. Outside of that, I'm a bartender in Milwaukee, so I bartend downtown Milwaukee. I've been doing that since I was 18. I just love the social aspect of it and getting to communicate and meet new people every single time I work. Outside of that, I am a traveler. I have been to 5 different countries this year and 12 different states, and a lot of it was traveling alone. So I love to book trips, I love to travel, I travel a lot for work. That's part of the reason why I do what I do now. And right now, I am a graduate. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in 3 years this previous May. I graduated on my 21st birthday, and in a few years, I will be going back for my master's. So why does this matter? I will be teaching you how to be successful in life without even trying. And the success comes from the things you do inside of work and outside of work. So everything I do takes a lot of time and effort and skills that I had to build up myself. And they're not skills that someone could train me, but skills I had to teach myself. True or false? Most employers are willing to train the right person for the job. It's definitely true. So the reason employers are willing to train the right person for the job is because of the 8 essential skills. These are skills that people normally teach themselves and learn over time as they grow. These skills include leadership, communication, teamwork, problem solving, ethics, flexibility, time management, and interpersonal skills. First, we're going to talk about leadership. If any of you guys know anything about leadership, most people that I have seen be leaders are the ones who do not want to be leaders. They never choose themselves as a leader, but they're able to lead the best because they listen to their peers and they are able to collaborate better. Where does this one? So these are the qualities of an effective leader. A lot of the times they're hardworking, and most of the time they can't see that in themselves, but people see that in them. They're not afraid to try new things. They're a cheerleader. They play well with others, and they're a dreamer. Next is communication. Do any of you guys know what active listening is? invisible. You're not in your head, so someone. Right. So active listening is something I notice a lot of people are losing the skill of. People get distracted by their phones, they get distracted, they can't make eye contact, they're not nodding when you're speaking to them, like things to let you know. Yeah, thank you. So active listening is basically just showing someone that you're understanding what they're saying and that you're caring enough to show that you're paying attention. Written and verbal communication. For my job, I'm sending emails daily, many emails daily, and that's a main form of communication for me. So a skill that I had to teach myself is learning how to send a professional email. With texting nowadays, most people just text short phrases. Very unprofessional. When you're working in the business field or any sort of professional job, you need to learn how to send a professional email and be effective with your wording so people understand the point you're trying to make quickly. And this as well goes for verbal communication. So I'm meeting new people every single day, and I have to learn how to communicate in a confident way where I'm not coming off as shy, I'm not coming off as disrespectful. I can speak to anyone, especially strangers. Along with this, showing my confidence through projecting my voice, not just through me presenting to a crowd like this, but when I'm speaking to someone one-on-one, they understand me, I'm not mumbling, I'm making eye contact, and I'm using my hands to speak so they understand what I'm trying to say to them. Along with this, introductions, having a firm handshake, being able to speak to someone, introduce yourself, not a flimsy handshake. People will be so confused by that if you do that. It'll show that you're not confident. It'll show that you're not sure of who you are and not sure of what you're doing. Even if you're not sure of what you're doing, having these qualities shows that you're confident and that you believe you are meant to be there. Lastly, thank you notes. Thank you notes are a dying practice in my opinion. A lot of people think it's more convenient to send an email, which of course it's more convenient, but emails will get missed. Emails can be brushed aside. You're not going to look as important as someone who writes a thank you note and takes the time out of their day to hand someone a thank you note. So if you're going into an interview with an employer, you want to be showing them that you care and that you are better than everyone of the other candidates. You want to show them that you are the right candidate for them. Teamwork. So strong teams have all of these qualities, but one specific example that I like to speak about is when I was in high school, I played on a girls basketball team with 6 girls. If anyone knows, there are 5 players on the court at one time, and having 6 girls is such a small amount. The one thing that I loved about my team is we all had to work together. It wasn't a matter of liking each other on the team or disliking each other. We had to work together because we are the only ones we had. So we would always make a good plan, and our communication was better than every other team. And by the time we got to know each other and we were able to communicate effectively, our 6-person team was winning games and we were winning tournaments. Although we had way less players, almost half as many, we were winning games and we were better than a lot of the teams we were playing against. Problem solving. Does anyone know what the lean method is of problem solving? Well, in supply chain we use the lean method a lot. So the lean method is basically being able to define a problem and come up with a solution and being able to maintain it. This works in both your personal life, in work, in everything. So the lean method, if I was using this in my personal life, let's say I'm really stressed a day. And that's my problem. I'm very stressed. So the next thing I do is measure how bad my stress is. And then I identify what is causing my stress. Is it because I didn't clean my apartment? Is it because I was procrastinating my work? Is it because I overslept? What is my problem and how can I improve this? Do I have to wake up earlier to improve my stress? Do I have to make sure my apartment is clean? How do I improve this? And lastly, how do I maintain the solution? In work, this is easily identifiable. In personal life, it's a little bit more difficult to identify these issues and actually taking the time to work on them. Ethics. Integrity, the choice between what's convenient and what's right. I love this quote specifically when in powerlifting, integrity is used all the time because if you're doing what's right and you're not being lazy and you're not doing what's convenient, you will be better than the people who do what's convenient at that time. My coach would be the first one to say that. Sometimes I have 3-hour lifts and he programs me a bunch of accessories and I will be there for 3 hours. Of course I don't want to be there for 3 hours and I could definitely just skip out on them and he would probably never know. But I'll know because I will be weaker in the long run than what he programmed me. Having integrity is super important because you will be doing what's right and in the end, you will be better than where you would be if you just did what was convenient at the time. Hard work always pays off and it'll always show through in the long run. Flexibility. Having a plan A and a plan B. So basically, when you have a plan A, if I'm talking about work, realistically, plan A does not work all the time. If I were to tell you that I was supposed to be here today and I knew I was supposed to be here before a week ago, I would be lying to you. My boss is actually supposed to do this presentation and she asked me to step in. This was definitely not my plan A, but of course I'm flexible. So I'm able to do this and I know I'm able to do this effectively and share my life stories instead. So I was able to do this talk and that's me being flexible. In work, you're not always going to be able to do exactly what you want to do and it's never going to be perfect. And being flexible and being able to roll with the punches is the best thing you could possibly do. It's a great, strong skill to have. And learning how to not freak out when things don't go your way. Innovation. I love talking about innovation because people normally look at innovation from a business perspective, but it's actually the people that innovate the businesses. People make businesses more effective by being able to take risks. They're able to make changes, try new things, and basically keep working forward. Innovating as a person, if you, your age right now, never learned another skill and you were told that you had to go into a job right now without training for it, I doubt you'd be able to do it. Learning and growing every single day is innovating as a person and being able to take those risks and take chances and try new things. I had someone yesterday ask me if it was stupid to double major in something. And my one answer is absolutely not. If you're willing to learn the skills to do that and you know there's a career path that is meant for you, definitely do it. That's you innovating as a person. You should constantly be growing. You should constantly be wanting to learn new skills and growing as a person. If she thought that wasn't gonna work out, that's the risk. But I guarantee if she works hard enough, she will be able to find a job in that career path. Time management. So time management's a different one because when I talk to most people about time management, they're like, oh, just don't procrastinate, don't do this, don't do that. That doesn't work for most people. Time management looks different for every single person I have ever met, especially me. I found out I have ADHD when I was a junior in high school. And up until this point, I thought I was just not able to do my work. I would sit with my homework in front of me for 4 hours every night and be confused why I couldn't focus on it. Eventually, before I even found out I have ADHD, I just stopped doing my homework at night. And I was like, I'll wake up in the morning because I know when that deadline is coming towards me, I will be able to do my work. And I was way more efficient at it. That was me managing my time. I was able to do everything at night. I was able to get a good night's rest without staying up all night. And I woke up at 4 a.m. and did my homework in the morning the rest of high school. Do I think that's great for everyone? Absolutely not. But that's what worked for me and that's how I manage my time. Till this day, I still wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I'll go to the gym in the morning and I do everything in the mornings because that's how my brain works. That's me managing my time. But time management looks different for everyone, so when someone else is doing something, never compare what you are doing to them. As long as you are getting the work done and it is being done effectively, that is how you manage your time. Interpersonal skills. There's no slide for that one, I'm sorry. But interpersonal skills, when you are speaking to someone, letting them know that you know how to communicate and you know how to communicate effectively and you know how to talk to people. I love bartending because it will always help me work on these interpersonal skills. I'm constantly talking to new people with all different personalities and I learn how to communicate and it helps me in my job, my everyday job, because I meet people with similar personalities and I know how to speak to everyone and I know how to speak to them politely. Being able to bring yourself into a room and speak to anyone understand you and appreciate what you are doing is one of the biggest talents that a lot of people can't do. When I talk to a lot of my friends, they're like, there's no way I could get up in front of a crowd and speak to people. There's no way I could talk to a bunch of strangers every day. I'm like, that's what I do every single day. And I understand most people can't do that, and I couldn't do that if you asked me to do this when I was 18. But I've worked on this skill, and it's not something I could be trained to do, it's something I had to work on myself. All right, so now let's get ready to create something great. I'm going to have you guys split up in your row.